realize your family was torturing you in the name of God? When I was 15, my grandmother started shaking me awake at 4 in the morning on school nights. She'd shove a leather journal and dried herbs into my hands, and I'd immediately break out in hives from my allergy. The red welts across my arms only fueled her beliefs more. She'd point at them and say, "See, your body knows your sins." Then she'd make me write down every impure thought I'd had since our last session. My hands would shake as I searched my memory for sins that would satisfy her. When my confessions weren't good enough, she'd use a belt and welt my back until I confessed to terrible things that weren't true. Because of that, I became an expert at lying. I lied about having lustful thoughts about classmates, anger toward innocent teachers, jealousy over things I didn't even want. My mother never intervened. She'd slip me crackers when grandmother left the room, her voice trembling as she said, "She's saving your soul." Things got worse when I turned 16. Grandmother started giving me lists of classmates who needed saving. I followed them, documented their sins, and recruited them for prayer meetings. I spent weeks stalking Haley from chemistry class, writing down every time she laughed with boys or wore a tank top. She was just being a normal teenager, but I was documenting her like she was some kind of criminal. The shame of what I was doing ate holes in my stomach. That's when she gave me my first mission, to help cleanse Haley's sins. I told my grandmother I wouldn't do it, but had no choice when she threatened to hurt me and my mom for disobedience. So during chemistry class, I convinced Haley to come over for a project. The moment she stepped into the house, my grandmother forced her into a chair and poured murky well water down her throat. When Haley gagged, my grandmother forced me to hold her mouth open to continue giving the holy water. When she started vomiting, I pushed my grandmother away and dragged Haley into the woods to hide and recover until her parents arrived. That night, I received 30 hits to my back. Haley dropped out and started getting homeschooled. Weeks went by and things calmed down. Then, on the night of my homecoming dance, she handed me a vial of clear liquid that smelled like bleach and said, "Pour this into the punch bowl to purify everyone. Don't disappoint me this time." I showed up to the gym watching my classmates dance, holding poison that was clearly meant to hurt them all. I held the vial over the punch with shaking hands. That's when one of the teachers caught my hand and looked at me with a worried expression. I felt relief crash down, happy someone stopped me. She pulled me outside of the gym and asked for an explanation. I broke down and gave all the details of everything I had been going through at home. When I called myself a terrible person, she hugged me and said, "You're not the problem. That's torture, not faith." After I calmed down, she quietly pulled the principal aside and escorted us to his office. They looked at the vial and visibly winced at the strong smell of the bleach mix. They called a police officer to take the vial and my statement before sending units to arrest my grandmother and mom. I moved hundreds of miles away to live with my aunt, who cried when she saw the scars on my back. For the first time in years, I felt safe enough to sleep through the night. Slowly, she helped me unlearn the defensive habits I built just to survive. My mother got released 5 years later and sent me judgment verses and a birthday card. I threw it away without reading it, but my hands still shook as I did it. I'm done being afraid of her version of God. I sent her a return package with an upside-down cross keychain and a note telling her not to call me her son any longer.